Great. Thank you, Joshua, and thank you, Loudspring, for inviting me. Really great to be here, almost feel at home here at University of Helsinki premises. So, and with such a crowd, I really feel that we can build the Helsinki of tomorrow together. So, about myself, a few words. My name is Antti Kerppola. I'm the CEO of YLVA, which used to be HY Group or HYY Group or HY Yhtymä before. So, the business operation of the Student Union of Helsinki University. Prior to working with YLVA, I worked with McKinsey and Company and If, a leading Nordic insurance company. So what is YLVA? As mentioned, it's owned by the students of the University of Helsinki. So 26,000 students own us, and that's really a unique position to be at. The voice and the views of the younger generation are seen in our business, and we really want to make these views into real business. We work in a few different industries, so real estate being the biggest. We have other investment as well, and then we operate a chain of restaurants, Unicafe. A couple of big words. We really have a vision of a sustainable Helsinki and really working to make that happen. And after these presentations, you'll probably have a couple of ideas of how that actually can be seen in our businesses. First of all, talking about real estate, one of our newer projects, YLVA, which is really in the interface of research and business. Hopefully in 2022, actually there in Hakaniemi. Kind of words here, form and function, meaning that first of all, designing and constructing this beautiful building, we will target to have the first LEED Platinum certificate in Finland with the 2018 criteria, and not stopping there. Obviously, want to really kind of have cutting edge technologies there, but also we wish all such companies and groups that really want to work in this field, basically trying to take for instance research, high intensity research in environmental issues, evolving that into business solutions as tenants in this building. By 2035, Helsinki wants to be carbon neutral in buildings. So obviously we need to work also with the older buildings. We're working on a hotel development not that far away from here. Here also we have targets on the environmental side, but obviously it's always a bit trickier when working with older buildings. But these buildings shouldn't be demolished from a cultural, societal or aesthetic point of view. They need to be renovated. Couple of words. I mean, also it's not about kind of construction work and renovation work. It's also about kind of bringing new practices to our tenants. And in the upcoming weeks, we'll also introduce a new way, very kind of simple way to all of our tenants to compensate actually all of their CO2 emissions. And we'll be helping out on the part that are not relevant for tenants to make this, and they can do it through their monthly rental payments. A couple of words about our restaurant chain. So Unicafe has been around for 66 years, closest one here in Portania and Päärakennus, the main building of University of Helsinki. We've always had a huge emphasis on vegetarian and vegan food, and today we can see that more than 42% of our customers choose that as their option, and that's actually growing. And these are the most satisfied customers we have. That's really great. In investments, we have around 20 million euros worth of listed securities. We work closely with EQ Wealth Management here in Helsinki. Within that portfolio, we first of all divested all fossil fuels out of this portfolio, and well, what's left there is an actively managed ESG portfolio. If anyone wants to talk about divesting fossil fuels out of their investment portfolio, that's actually quite easy. You just need to make the decision. We've made a couple of venture investments, not huge. One of them into Rescue, and Sauli already talked a lot about that. Really interesting company at the moment. Alongside Loudspring, we're the two biggest investors in that company, and really happy to see the progress. We've also made a small trip into insect food with EntoCube, and let's see what happens there. This is a very small portion of our overall more than 300 million investment portfolio, but we really feel that we also need to take part here, as we have the opportunity to do that. We talk about ourselves or this new brand and new way of doing as a profitable corporate activist. A lot said. We want to be a forerunner in Nordics in every industry we work with. And if you want to be a forerunner in Nordics, you're actually leading globally. So that's a lot. And having heard really interesting speeches today, I think this also kind of it's a good slide to end. I really think that here in Helsinki we have really the means of making this the city of tomorrow together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Antti.